Hi guys, Nim here, and I'm in my jammies, and we're not gonna care. So it's like the 5th, I think. Sadie's joining me. It's like the 5th of October, I think, and I've read 3 of my 4 Bookopoly October choices for my TBR. So I thought I would do a video of some of the books that I would like to add this month. I definitely won't get to all of them, but I thought I would share with you what I will hopefully be adding for my October TBR. And since I can't get to all of these, if you want to hear how any of these are, let me know and I will prioritize them above the others. So yeah, I just chose like a random selection out of ones that I thought I might like for Halloween time or just autumn in general. So let's get to it. Yeah, Sadie. The first is The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. I read The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher and I loved it. That was more like a folkloric horror, I think, though, and this is more like a dark portal fantasy, I believe. I should have read this before I started recording, but I didn't. I'm not even going to read the description of this. I heard a dark portal fantasy. I've heard really good things about it. That's all I'm going to say. And it's pretty short too. So like if I got to this, I could probably read a second book as opposed to how long it would take to read some of these other thicker ones, if that makes sense. But anyways, love T. Kingfisher's other writing, so I definitely would like to try this sometime. I've had this for a few months and I keep on being like, I really want to read that and then not getting to it. Next is Stephen King's The Langoliers. This is one I was hesitant to add on this list because it's not very Halloween-esque despite being Stephen King. But again, it's another short read where Sadie likes this one apparently, where weird things happen. There's a plethora of people on a plane, as one does on a plane. They just be a person. That's weird compared to everyone else. And I believe everyone on Earth disappears? Or, yeah, when they land at the airport, there's no signs of life. They just hear radio static in the distance. And I guess they're trying to figure out what happened, and there's creatures involved. And that's all I know. I remember I saw this movie when I was a kid, and all I remember is that it really creeped me out. Like, whatever was happening, like, the creatures really creeped me out, and I just have a vague memory of that, so it makes me really want to read it. Next is the only middle grade on this entire list, and that is The Wildwood. This is about a young girl who sees her baby brother or her young brother get abducted by a murder of crows and flown into the forest called the Wildwood against their city that you're never supposed to go into, ever. And obviously she does, and some magical things happen. This also has some cute illustrations in it. First of all, can we just talk about the cover? I love the art of this. This is definitely a cover buy, but it's filled with just little illustrations in it, and I thought it'd be cute. I actually have the whole trilogy, but this is book 1. I haven't started it yet. And that's more like an autumn read rather than like a Halloween read, obviously. The next 2 are definitely like Halloween reads, and also kind of cover buys, but also nostalgia buys, even though I haven't read these ones specifically. And that is because they're R.L. Stine, which is absolutely what made me become a reader as a child, was R.L. Stine. It was Goosebumps. These ones are both Return to Fear Street novels. So I have like a 4-book mashup of just the actual Fear Street novels, not the Return to Fear Street, and they sucked. I am just gonna be honest, they were all bad. One of them I think I gave a 1 star. Others weren't as horrible, but they weren't good. But I picked these up because, first of all, the covers are just beautiful, and as an artist, I am definitely a cover buyer. But also I was like, well, the Return to Fear Street, which means he wrote them later in his career, so maybe they'll be better. It's The Wrong Girl, and You May Now Kill the Bride. Let's see. The Wrong Girl. A girl wants to get payback after a cruel prank humiliates her. And I believe they start dropping dead. Yeah, her classmates start turning up dead. And she doesn't know if she's being framed or if somehow she's causing it. So that sounds like a good old time. And this one is about two Fear Street weddings that are decades apart. And there's an ancient curse that's haunting, I believe, the brides. So the problem with the original Fear Street ones I wrote, I'm R.L. Stine, guys. You're welcome for writing Goosebumps when I was in elementary school. No, the problem with the Fear Street ones I read, I hope this isn't super spoiler, but like none of them were supernatural. I think one of them was. And sorry, I have something in my eye. I want supernatural, especially for R.L. Stine. I'm like, you wrote the Goosebumps. These should be weird and supernatural. But I'm hoping these ones will be. I mean, classmates are turning up dead somehow, and which obviously yes, that could be a person behind it. But this one straight up mentions like a curse. So I'm hoping at least that one will be supernatural. All right, the thickest boy on my list, he's Chonk. That's okay. Guys can be chonks and still be sexy. Is Empire of a Vampire. And this is a signed first edition, which is great. This is about vampires have basically taken over the world. And they're not the sexy kind. They're actually just like evil. And they've taken over the world. And this main character, it's about him explaining what happened and how he got to where he is at the start of the book, which is imprisoned by these vampires. And it's them like making him like recount his story. And I believe him and his like brotherhood, his organization, were looking for the Holy Grail to stop the vampires and failed. That's not spoilers. This is like literally how the book starts. But what I love about it, so you can see, he's big. What I'm really excited about this book for is that it's filled with just full page illustrations. And I mean, like, I don't know if you can see all the dark lines, but those are all full page illustrations. And I love that. Obviously, putting this on the list because it's a vampire novel and one where they're not friendly, sparkly vampires. Like, you actually want these vampires to not succeed. So I thought that would be good on the October list. Third to last is another thick boy, but not as thick. Granted, it could just have thinner pages. And that is the Book of Accidents. I chose this one because supposedly the first half is like a haunted house story, but then it gets very like dimensional, like multi-dimensional horror, like with different beings and stuff. Like I heard it gets weird and I like weird. I mean, I also just like haunted stories, so even if it didn't get weird, it would still be good. But I don't want to like read the back because I don't want to know anymore. All I had to hear was that it starts off sort of like feeling like a ghost story and then becomes like interdimensional like horror. And I was like, yes, please, definitely. So that's on the list. That's the other thick boy. Now the next two are the reason I was waiting to make this video, because I was waiting for them to come in the mail. And those are the two books I chose for Book of the Month this month. I literally signed back up to Book of the Month to get these two books. My dog's super cracked out on the floor. Sorry, she wants attention. But I'm so excited about these. Literally, like these are absolutely being read this month. I don't care how busy I am with like commissions and other reading. These are being read this month. And that's these two. I'm so excited. There's Sign Here by Claudia Lux. And Thistlefoot is by Jenna Rose. Ooh, Nethercott. I hope I read that correct. I mean, even the first name. I hope it's Jenna Rose. But anyways, I'll obviously tell you about each of these separately. Thistlefoot is about the Yagas. Obviously, Thistlefoot is based on the Baba Yaga tale, The Witch in a House with Chicken Legs, which I read literally anything like Baba Yaga involved. I read it. I love Baba Yaga inspired books, including Howl's Moving Castle, which obviously is also one, in case you didn't know. I know, Sadie, let me just finish. Okay, so Thistlefoot is about the Yagas. There are siblings who seem to be like estranged, and then they find out that they have an inheritance. So they come together for the inheritance, but instead of being money or normal property, it is a house, a sentient house with chicken legs. And they decide to like travel around America and just see the sights in this house. But they soon find out that, I don't know if it's a creaturey, person-y thing is after them. And that's all I know. That sounds amazing. I'm so excited. Also, I was really happy because both of these are just over 400 pages. Or like reach the they're just over 400 pages. And I prefer the longer books. Book of the Month is really bad about having like the shortest books possible. But both of these are over 400 pages. And I was like, yes, I want as much supernatural shit as possible. Also, I'm doing this in just like our bare bedroom. So sorry for like the boring background, but the neighbor's fence is right against my bedroom, and the neighbor's dog never shuts up. I have never wanted to become violent with a dog before. I've never wanted to fist fight a French bulldog before. Boston Terrier, I think it's Boston Terrier. Me and this dog are about to throw hands. Even with my windows closed, you can hear it, which is why we're in here. So that's why. I apologize that you don't get like pretty books behind me. Last is Sign Here, and this is probably the one I'm the most excited for. So the main character, whose by the way, name is Peyote Trip. I literally, when I started reading the description, thought they were talking about something that happens when someone experiences a peyote trip, but his name is Peyote Trip. But he works in hell in the deals department. And I'm just gonna read you this one part because it's really cute. This one part from the description, or it's really amusing. And it's one of the things where I was like, yes, this book's attitude is up my alley. It says, sure, none of the pens work. The coffee machine has been out of order for a century, and the only drink on offer is Jägermeister. And I was just like, yes, this has a sense of humor. I'm so happy about that. And Pay, I think is what he goes by in the book, just figures out that like the only way he can get out of this or like move up in the ranks or something is to get one last signature from this family selling their soul, like one more member of this family to sell their soul to him. And it's perfect because the family's going on a vacation with this friend and they're all going to be there, and he decides it's a perfect time. He gets his friend Calamity to join him, and he's just dead set on getting one of them to sell their souls to him. And it just sort of says, but not everything on earth or in hell is what it seems. And that's it. And I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited. This and Thistlefoot, like, they are being read. I'm wrecking these books this month. The rest, though, I'm not sure which I'll be able to get to or which I should read. So if you really want to hear about the other books or something specific, you want to know how it is, please let me know in the comments, and I promise I will prioritize it over the others. But that's it for me. This is going to be such a great reading month. I can already tell. I mean, like I said, I'm already 3 books in and it's like the 5th or something. So excited. So please let me know which of these I should read. Also, let me know what you are reading this month. I would love to hear about it. And yeah, that's it. I will see you at the wrap-up. Or hopefully some videos before the wrap-up because I have some planned. But very excited. That's all I can keep saying. So happy early Halloween, everyone.